Hi, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Talking Reckless podcast. Andy, I hope you're ready. Okay, Brandon Lynch is here. And Kevin Byer.
Ooh. Yeah, bring it back down.
I'm Matt Eads.
Bring it back down to regular level.
Yeah, you guys need to calm down. For
Ooh, that was good. I like that one.
Yeah, a little
Flourish
Mr. Owl.
Yes.
Were you guys too young for the thing from back in late '90s, early 2000s?
That sounds familiar. Yeah. What is that?
Late '90s, like
that's just.
I was old enough to remember stuff in the late '90s.
It was a random throat noise thing that people would make all the time. It was like,
Yeah, that is that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that does sound familiar.
Yeah.
Is that sounds like song?
Sounds like something all the cool kids did.
Yeah, is that like?
True. Yeah, it was something all the cool kids
Yeah,
did.
it wasn't very cool.
If something is going well, you make it's like a bam.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bam was good.
Peanut butter and
good.
jam.
Bam! And then fucking in that scene,
What's
fucking
up?
lady walks out.
Yeah,
I was a fan of the "Was Up."
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
What the?
Millhouse does a lot of good was
Pretty much anything that Budweiser put in an ad in the late '90s, early 2000s was pretty
It
much
all
great.
stuck. They're fucking geniuses over there.
Hi, welcome to the show. I got show notes. You guys want some?
Oh yeah, let's have
Oh
these
yeah,
out
we're
on
doing a show.
You guys want some show notes?
We Matt Eads said there ain't no news, and then some shit went down at Ubisoft seconds later.
It's true. It turned out to be kind of a non-story.
But boy, did we think it was news at the time.
When you messaged that in the chat, I was like, "How did Eads miss this?" Like,
No,
I
it was
didn't know. I
happening.
didn't know
It
it,
was
actually just happened.
Yeah, it was breaking live
But
today.
based on the news story, it like happened minutes out. It started minutes after Eads said, "There's no news this week."
Yeah. And then
like
one
you
of our good fans went and created a scene at Ubisoft for us.
Yes. Thank you to all you.
Yeah. How's everyone doing? Hello.
Good.
Hello.
Feeling groovy.
It's Destiny Tuesday.
Wow.
Well,
It's
Destiny Tuesdays passed.
it's the day of Destiny 2.
That's right.
Wow.
The day we come to gather around and praise worship onto the Traveler.
That's right. I do not.
His
For
life.
the record, I am very. I'm the
anti-Traveler?
Traveler truther now.
Right, you're a true.
Fuck the Traveler.
Fuck the Traveler, indeed.
Thank you,
Really?
Kevin.
You're going all dark now.
Yes.
You're all like, we need to embrace the darkness.
Pledge myself. I'm not even because right now in the game, Beyond Light, you're going Beyond Light. You know, it's all like, well, with the light might not cut it. We have to use some darkness as well.
Oh no!
I'm not even. I'm all darkness. I don't want any light. I don't want nothing the Traveler's selling.
You're so beyond the light that you're into the darkness.
That's right.
Like a hipster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My fedora is very black.
Your attitude is the reason that all those other timelines collapsed, and now that's why the ladies trying to
No.
save ours. Absolutely,
If more people had realized, if the Fallen had been
God,
like,
he just sounds
the
so
Traveler are
blatant.
gonna fuck us up, because all you hear from the Fallen now is like, oh, we worship the Traveler too, but it fucked us, it's gonna fuck you up like it fucked us. Maybe if more people were like, fuck the Traveler, hashtag fuck the Traveler, then we wouldn't be here now.
Get that trending.
It's a top-heavy system, Andy. Why is 99.9% of the light wealth in the hands of 0.01% of the machine gods? That's bullshit.
No, the humans have it.
No, the Traveler just lets us use it.
Yeah, it's because we're great.
It's true. Ghosts are the corporate CEOs.
Yeah, exactly.
So hold on, there's
Funnel
no light
just
in this
enough.
world? You guys can't go turn on a light switch?
Well, no, there is light.
You have to.
That's
admit.
lowercase
Yeah.
light.
Oh, so
Capital
it's
L.
Capital L light.
Light, yes.
Yeah.
It's very stupid. And in spite of how stupid it is, they're kind of telling an okay... I don't know. Maybe they're telling an okay story.
Destiny continues to be a story that you find yourself in it with such limited knowledge of anything around it, where it's like, oh, this seems really cool, but they're constantly throwing words at you where you're like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Like you only have a grasp on like the immediate now plot where I'm like, okay, we got to kill this person because they're doing this thing. And the second you try and find out what any of those things mean, you start being like, there's rabbit holes all around me. There's
Yeah.
no way to possibly keep an eye on this. Like I told you, I watched a 4-hour lore video. I can't remember any of it. It was too much at one time.
I also I read a few essays. I read a few lore essays. Learned about Clovis Bray and
Sure. Corvus?
Corvus.
Clovis? You might be right.
I think it's Clovis. Yeah.
Clovis is the time traveler, like the
Watch your
Elizabeth.
spoilers.
Well, yeah. He made the Exos. He made every Exo.
Yeah.
even.
Yeah, that's not a spoiler. It's just
No, but you're getting into some territory.
Yeah, but it's yeah. I guess we won't talk about story specifics because it's still pretty new. But for the first time, it feels like
For if you care that much,
Yeah.
we're looking after you.
I think it's. I haven't seen how it wraps up, and right now I'm sort of if I have finished this, if we've all, because we're all kind of in the same spot. If we finish the story and that was it, that story is fucking lame because there must be a third act basically where you and I are right now.
To be like traditionally, the actual story, like the complete story, ends with the raid.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
the raid
right
has
now
not even been announced yet.
they introduce a new antagonist, then you see that antagonist a few times, and you meet that antagonist once, and then that antagonist is apparently gone
Deal with
forever.
that antagonist,
And
yeah.
it's just over in it's like a 2-hour thing. You're like, oh fuck, that's not
that's
it.
That doesn't shock me as much though as it has you, because that's been literally every antagonist in Destiny up to this point. It's been a quick story. Like even when Destiny 2 came out, that Cabal guy who like chained up the Traveler, and when they attacked Earth, you fucking kill him at the end of that storyline, and it's a dope last freaking mission to go kill him and stuff. And then he's gone, he's done,
That's
and then
the
you
one
move
with
on.
the sun.
Is her name Aramis?
Aramis, yeah.
Yeah. The Aramis arc, as I've seen it so far, is the most unsatisfying thing. If that is the entirety of the arc, then
Yeah,
I guess you guys made another really bad story.
It is very much it is a vintage Destiny story where it's like, here's the bad guy, do some cool stuff, stop the bad guy.
Yeah.
Done.
I'm hoping that they're kind of presenting it like a vintage Destiny story, but by the time we get to the end of it, we'll be like, actually, fuck the
Something else.
Traveler.
For me, it's important to remember that like the story just has to exist.
Yeah.
In a
I
way,
kinda
like I
like
do not
it.
come to Destiny for the story at all. I come to Destiny for shooting motherfuckers and often being like, "What are we doing here? I don't even know what the name of this lady at the end of this strike is." Like
Pumping up your light level. It's all that
Pumping up the light
matters.
level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really what it's about.
I find myself invested because if there is some grand like twist or I want to be invested so that when the grand reveal happens of like you were the bad guys the whole time, I can
Sure.
be in there and be like, oh, I was.
yeah, I don't. I mean, you could totally.
Let me tell you about Clovis. Man made the Exos. He made himself, and so you can find the Funko Pop. Andy and I found the Funko Pop today. It's Banshee 44.
Man.
And then there's other timelines from the trash. She doesn't have time to explain why she doesn't have time to explain. There's time travel and that a lot of X milk.
I don't think you're going to get your big twist that you want.
Why? Yes, I am, Andrew. What the fuck we don't have an answer to the pyramids. The pyramids we're still like, what are these fucking pyramids?
Right, and we honestly could not. We might not have an answer. Like the pyramids might be the end game of this, like year 3 or year 4 of Destiny.
Yeah.
Like that could be 4 seasons down the line.
That'd be upsetting.
Yeah,
I mean, yes and no. Yes, in that I guess people are super into it right now, but also no in that what's the story you're trying to tell for this 4 seasons? Like maybe this is the story of the pyramids.
Yeah.
We've never really got the story of the pyramids yet, so the story of the pyramids might be throughout the next 4 seasons because there's 4 seasons per expansion. So I don't know. Like I just can't imagine anything Destiny's
just-
doing
I
where
don't
I'm
know.
like, I'm over the Destiny story. It's
Aramis
like,
is like the most generic by the numbers villain I've ever. She's even voiced by Laura Bailey, like every fucking character in the world, just doing her like, our people were mistreated. My way's better. Like is the most boring villain, and then there's like zero complexity to her.
we'll say on par with every other Destiny.
No, even Gaul, like at least Gaul had some things going on. Gaul had a big fucking ship and like a whole.
you know what else is really dope that has shitty fucking villains?
What?
Marvel movies, and I love those movies.
Yeah, there's some pretty bad villains in.
But it's satisfying to get one over on them. This is like this is like the Iron Man 2. This is like what if every villain was this is Whiplash.
Yeah.
This is the person who shows them is like I want Bert and is super poorly acted and then disappears and you're like great,
Oh fuck! I thought we were saying Whiplash was dope.
great. Laura Bailey.
Mrs. Bus on this.
Laura
one.
Bailey sounding like she's phoning again. Not her fault at all that she is cast as every single video game character, but like doing her standard read, cool. Boring. That main campaign, if I've seen it all, is I've been under the pretense this whole time that like there's a shoe that's going to drop. I just got to finish off some more of these quests.
That's
and then,
your problem.
See, and that's just not the way to
I feel
play
like
that
a
game.
shoe has never dropped in the history of Destiny.
Like the biggest thing that happened in Destiny, and honestly, like compared to when it started, there is such a fuller universe because fuck, when you first start that game, you have fucking Zavala and like the Warlock chick, and you had Cade, and they were your guys for your faction to get gear, and it like told you nothing, and they developed no characters, like there was no development whatsoever. And then finally, when Destiny 2 came out, they were like, fucking, let's actually start integrating some sort of
Well,
the biggest shoe that ever dropped in Destiny was Cade dying.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Everyone made fun of it because they're like, no one gives a fuck about your characters, Destiny.
I actually like, but then when you played that mission, when you opened up that expansion and started running those missions up to his death, you could like Cade had a full character, and all that stuff made you like him. And when we were starting to get to the end of it, I was like, great, now I don't want him to fucking die, and I know he's going to.
For me, the Cade character, and I'm like, I'm shitting on the Destiny story, but I'm also shitting on it in a way where I'm saying, this is what. This feels like an MMO story.
The story they laid down in 1 was fucked from the word go, where like they had incredible rewrites, and like remember the stranger literally shows up and says, "I don't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain," and then the game ends, and you're like,
I don't even remember that.
Like
I
that game came
so little. Like the more I try and get out from like the immediate 5 hours I've played of Destiny, the farther I try and go out from that, I'm like, I don't remember. Like even Cade's character, I'm like, that was like Troy Baker doing
Nathan Fillion.
Or Nathan Fillion, doing fucking Nathan Fillion. Like
exactly.
it was I'm the sarcastic, lovable scoundrel.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know you from the first thing you said. I knew you what you were, and you died being that guy. And for that, I can say, bravo, Destiny. That's what your story is from start to finish.
But they now that they're free of Activision, maybe they can try. And this is my hope for Beyond Light, because it's supposed to be the first expansion completely developed free of the yoke of Activision. Maybe they can start to tell meaningful stories, and it feels like they are taking steps. It feels like, and again, I missed a few expansions, but every Destiny thing I've played until now, with the exception of kind of the Red War campaign, it's felt like they have been frantically trying to be like, this is how our world works. No. Exos where they're just laying down things in front of these giant plot holes so that you can kind of get across them for now.
Sure.
But in Beyond Light, it feels like they're actually trying to use those set pieces and those characters. They're not introducing too much new, which is nice. You're like, oh fuck, I actually recognize, like there's a part where spoilers, Eris Morn shows up. I'm like, oh shit, it's Eris. Hey, that's cool.
Well, we just dealt with her. Like that was a special moment for you, but for us, we've been dealing with Eris Morn for the whole Shadowkeep campaign.
Yeah.
So,
but I think that speaks to the part where these characters are, unlike Cade, they are kind of developing character. Where like I know a little bit about what Eris Morn is about.
yeah.
Well, I think Cade
probably
was
know more than me.
She's the only one to survive a fire team sent into that raid that we had to go do in that expansion.
We're not done it yet though.
Not that one.
Oh,
Not that one.
Oh, the one for Crota.
Oh, Crota.
Yeah.
So,
see, you know the lore too. We all know so much Destiny lore.
I genuinely like it. Like, I'm not going to go so hard. Like, I don't expect, I think, what you're expecting out of the story. I enjoy the story.
Good
You know how many fucking stories there are in the world these days? It's so hard to, create something that's entirely unique on its own. If you're going to, that needs to be the focus of your game. If your game, like, if you're going to make a Last of Us, where it's like, we're going to make a fucking great story here, that needs to be your top focus. Destiny's top focus isn't that. Their top focus is making intricate raids and challenging levels and getting you addicted to wanting better weapons and shit. That's what Destiny is.
Sure.
There's a lot of stuff in Destiny, like, and this is part of why there's parts of the Destiny story that I'm not engaging with, is there's often big pages of text. Like, they'll give you a few lines of VO and then a big page of text, and I'm like...
Characters talk now, which I really like.
yes,
you get the full
characters
conversation now, and then, like, the text is just a recap.
Right.
Fucking A.
But there's a lot of it where I'm just like, I'm not reading this. I'm not reading this.
Yeah.
I'm not reading this. I'm not reading this. Because it's just not why I come to Destiny. And so far, the story has been like, I need a C+ from Destiny, and it feels like they're giving me a C+ from Destiny. And I'm not going to say I don't want an A. That would be foolish. If the A story starts coming, I'd be like, hey, this is fucking rad.
But you start working up,
it certainly does not impact my enjoyment of the game that the story is not good, because it just feels like it never has been.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm still, like you say, enjoying
I hope
it.
You're right.
Enjoying it a lot, even
yeah.
though the story is not quite maybe doing it for me. But I'm still a little bit interested. The little bits of story that I am interested in engaging with, I still find really.
I don't know if that girl. I don't know if that girl that we dealt with, the character with no arc, is gone yet either. Just because
surely not.
It's not. She is not.
Her death is the least satisfying. You don't even. She might as well have. It's like Foxdie gets her.
And we'll say without spoiling anything, her corpse is not disposed of in a way that makes me think, well, you can't come back from that.
No.
Like
no. And
there's a lot of like at any given moment, this person could just be back.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Maybe she's the raid boss. That would be something
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, probably.
She can be the raid boss.
I don't want her to be the final boss. I want her to be a boss in the raid. I think that'd be cool. But like,
yeah, I agree.
Of course, she's the final.
Leading up to it, yeah, that's what I like. Like the halfway boss.
Sphere or something is a cube. Oh God, we haven't seen cubes yet.
Maybe that's darkness. Maybe that's just going to be like a traveler equivalent giant cube.
So what is new here mechanically? The stasis power is kind of the big. They added a fourth subclass.
Yeah, and it seems like the way that they're kind of positioning it is that because this is the darkness, they're basically being like, here's your 3 subclasses in the light, and then you flip the menu to the dark side, which makes you. And the only thing there is stasis, which makes me think that they're going to work on filling out that tree with even more powers.
Yeah, there's a lot of empty slots on that darkness power tree still.
But even not just kind of like, light, you have your I always forget what fire is actually called.
Solar.
So you have your solar, you have your void, and you have your arc. I think that what Brando's saying is that with stasis they're going to kind of have that similar thing. So like you go into that class, you go into the stasis class, and you have the tree of different options you can have. Yeah. I bet there's going to be other than stasis. There's going to be other different types of powers that you can use. Like
it feels like they're heading in the direction is like your light powers are solar, arc, and void. Your dark powers are stasis,
blah 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 blah,
evil something else, and evil something else.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, so it's interesting. The powers are very much. Feel like very much more like crowd control and territory control denial, and
they feel meaningfully different in some interesting ways.
Yeah, which is cool. Even like the whole throwing a grenade and just putting up a wall of ice and freezing, or like freezing guys is completely.
You can, and I'm like 99% sure I saw this in the trailer. I bet in the raid you'll have to use it to make a platform and then jump on the platforms because you can
throw them vertically on a wall or horizontally on a wall.
And I've seen some really long jumps. So like in what was the last time? Taken King? Was that where they had like all the weird in-world puzzles? It was like
we didn't do that raid.
Yeah, we didn't do that raid. You might have.
Was the expansion called Taken King?
Yeah, the expansion was called
Destiny
Taken King.
1.
From one.
Maybe that's. I'm all mixed. I have no fucking idea. But anyways,
Taken King was the
Forsaken.
No, Taken King was that when the Cabal attacked? No, the Cabal attacked
when
was
the Taken
Destiny
showed
2.
up.
Taken was
when
Taken
all
King.
the black versions of all the enemies showed up.
Aren't those called the Forsaken?
Yeah,
I thought they were called the Taken.
Oh, they're the Taken. The Forsaken are the ones that. They have like the lantern guys that carry a lantern.
That's the Scorn.
Oh, that's
I think
Scorn?
Forsaken was just the name of the expansion.
Yeah. Okay.
Fuck this.
Anyways, there's a lot of like weird world puzzles in this. So like you'll be in the world and like I randomly found you killed a weird looking enemy and then got just a little buff that was like, oh, you have the like Reese approach key codes or whatever. And there's so many of these random weird little like I found these 3 towers you can activate. They seem to do nothing.
And that's been like in Destiny forever, like that kind of stuff where it's like stuff that I'm not gonna bang my head about because I just spent so much of my Destiny time trying to get my checklist of stuff done that I don't have time to be the person trying 80 hours of different things with the stuff. So you just wait until someone figures it out and then you bing it.
Aber today asked me, one of the guys we're gaming with, he's just like, hey, Andy, I have this one quest that just says that there's a radio frequency coming from this place and it doesn't really like guide me or anything. I was like, hey, here's what you do with those, Aber. You go on the internet, you type in what it is, you look at what gun you get for doing it. If you want that gun, then you follow a guide to get it because don't fucking try to figure it out.
I know exactly what he's talking about, and he should just delete it.
Oh, okay, yeah, but that's like whenever you get something like that, like I'm exactly the same way. I'm like, somebody else has figured this out. I love how intricate and cool these are. Like they're really cool puzzles, but I'm not going to be the person to find this. So, and I don't want to go through that process and then get something I'm not going to use.
But I've seen some jumps that are like conspicuously just a little
about the raid
too
that we just did?
Not in the raid, just in the
just
world.
in the world, okay.
Yeah, I've seen some jumps that are just a little too far, and I didn't yet have the stasis grenade. But I bet if I go back to the grenade, I bet there's a secret back
over there.
You went up to a spot today where you were like, I swear to God, there's something up there. I'm going to figure it out. And then all you hear is Eads go, fuck, there's nothing up here.
It turns
that's all that's going to happen. That's all that's going to happen.
It turns out I like sequence broke the game, and you're not supposed to be able to get back there until you have all the darkness things and can open that door. before, and it just wasn't locked for me. So I could just go up there. There was nothing up there. Like the geometry didn't even spawn in, and I could fall through the world and shit. But it was laid out in such a way that I'm like, this looks like I'm supposed to like, look, I'm like jumping up here and now, oh, I can make it to that roof. And if I bounce off this, and it was like just laid out in such a way that I spent like 40 minutes jumping up this fucking thing and then made it all the way to the top. And I'm like, oh, the level is not loaded in. Clearly this is bugged out.
And that's why whenever you get a mission that is not very specific about what you're supposed to do,
Oh, there was
you
no,
go to the internet.
It wasn't even a
But
mission.
no, but
that was just me. That was just me looking at these spaces being like, why would you have like 10 rooms up here with literally nothing in them? This is weird.
That's why I need your brain for the raid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, to that,
if
we could, I don't want to be a naysayer, but I don't know if I think we could legit organically figure out a raid. Some of those things are really fucking specific.
I also, sorry, go ahead, Brandon.
I think I would love to go in there and try.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're gonna end up looking stuff up.
Yeah.
How long did the first Vault of Glass run take? It was
our first Vault of Glass run?
No, like in like
or just
not
in
like
general.
Like the
first one in Destiny. Yeah,
like the first time. I remember it being a big deal for people.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was like it fucking took the first fire team a long time to get through that.
I mean,
thing.
they probably did it faster than we did it, even knowing everything you have to do.
Yeah, probably. But
Yeah,
still.
I mean, even knowing what to do, it's like
It's hard.
It's still hard knowing what to do.
Plan
Yeah.
for like 40 hours, give or take, to get one of these done.
I think we down like I think you can figure out what you have to do in those raids easier than you're giving it credit for. I think one of the things that we don't do very well, and part of that is because we've come into every raid with someone to explain it to us, is I think if you just watch the left at what the game is telling you is happening, you can very quickly pair that with what's happening in the game, where it's like, oh, whenever we don't pick up that puke, this thing pops up and we all die.
Yeah.
So you have to pick up the puke. So I think figuring out what you have to do is not that difficult. I think figuring out the strategy on how to do it, like how many people should you send to each place and everything, I think that's where it's way easier to have someone to tell you, well, you're going to keep one person at each of these 4 locations and 2 people are going to run between these 2 locations, than for you to kind of figure out what's the best amount of people to have doing each job.
Yeah.
Because I think figuring out the goal is easy, figuring out the strategy is hard.
We would need, for our group of 6 specifically, we would need one person to just be raid leader and just literally tell everyone what to do. And like no one else talks except for that one person. And
well, no, you have to.
Even the first raid with our little group, we had, there was like, boys, this isn't hard. And like, you know, instead of someone being like, I got 15 seconds on my buff or whatever, they'd be like, hey, I got 1 minute minus 15 seconds plus 13 seconds here. Like, it was like 18,000 words to be like, yo, my buff's running out. Or like,
well, yeah,
boys!
I always try to keep everything so consistent. And I think people were like laughing at me a little bit when I was doing it.
I was doing the same as you. I'm like, yo, 15 on 1.
Yeah, 15 on 3.
That's it.
Yeah, 10 on 3 or whatever. Just say it.
Everybody else is like, oh, my buff's about to expire and I got 12 guys over here. And like, did you just...
Yeah, like just keep it simple, right? Just as quick as possible. If I get guys, I'm just like, or what do you call the things on the one we were doing where they come into your section? Like you get the 3 from each side. Angelics on 3. And it's like, hey, I need help on 3.
We never got to Angelics on 3.
Yeah, but that's like just say what it is, not fucking, oh man, I'm getting
like,
fucked over here on 3. I got Angelics and there's a bunch of guys I need a buff. Just like Angelics on 3. Hey guys, I need help on 3. We're gonna die. Just like, and don't get like all rattled. Just be like, let everybody know, hey, I'm getting overwhelmed. We're gonna die if I don't get help.
Because we tried what should have been kind of an easy raid, the one of the old raids that gets moved up to minimum level. So it was 1050. I was the next lowest with 1080, and then we had like all the way up to 1200 or something. And just the again, I don't want to like. I'm just playing devil's advocate quite a bit, but the amount of struggles we had with that raid, knowing what to do, and having people who had done it before. I cannot imagine. I can't imagine having the, hey, you only killed 4 people talk while we're trying to, like, fucking work out new mechanics.
I think we, as much as, like, I agree that we were over light leveled a little bit for that raid. I'm over light leveled for pretty much every raid I've ever done. None of them have been easy.
Yeah, my point is it'll never get easier than that.
I was gonna say we can't go, hey, we're all overpowered, this should be simple, because that's just not the case.
The thing that we don't have that I had that was making the last time we attempted this raid easier than this time we attempted it is I had guns that were like I had legendary guns that were modded that I'm like, this is my gun that does damage, this is my gun that does this.
Yeah.
I need this tool for this job. This time when we were doing the raid, even though we were a little over leveled, I'm like, I don't know, my best gun is this blue like rare gun that I can't mod in any way, and I don't have the right guns for the right tools for the right jobs here, and we should go back to the tower, but we're not going back to the tower because we're trying to bang this out. Like, I think if with one trip to the tower, I think that raid changes significantly, at least for the people that kind of know what guns do what, which we weren't doing, which I wasn't arguing that we should do. I was just like, this is in a lot of ways harder than when we were doing it the last time, and we were more over leveled this time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that was because it was just like I just had my guns that I knew.
My weapons that I'm
And when
familiar
this
with.
expansion came, I put all those guns that I knew in the vault so that I could have room to collect all these new guns. And then when we went into that raid, I'm like, I'm using a blue pistol. I don't know what it does.
We don't have we need a purple assault rifle so we can get
anything.
overload.
Does anyone have any purple guns we can put mods on?
Well, and yeah, that was the thing too. Like everybody, like there's people that are like, well, I'm not getting any heavy ammo drops and blah blah. And it's like, well, if you have those mods on where you can mod for your heavy ammo and like, there's just that was a huge thing for me too. Where I'm like fucking trying to use guns that I just am like. This is not my jam.
We're trying to teach people who are just kind of getting in now, like just how the weapons work and how masterwork works, and even just like upgrading your weapons so you have more energy slots.
So many. It's a different game from when I last played. There's so many new systems and things in there.
And I think once you explain, like I was explaining, like in the last month to people that you have to shoot enemies with red shields with red ammo, like solar shields.
Okay, what are we? Wait,
Well,
really?
but
This is Destiny 1 shit.
Yeah.
Like,
and I will.
This is like
every time Brando gives that conversation, I think back to when him and I really hard in Destiny 1 because I think we probably went for a month of like tackling nightfalls and shit. And then finally he just said it. He was just like, okay, the shields in this one is going to be fire. Fire damage is going to do better. And I was like, what? And then he was just, there was a pause and he was like, have you not been equipping the right guns for shooting the right guys? I'm like, I had no fucking idea.
Andy's kill total like doubles, and he's like way better than me. And I'm like, well, there we go. Now we're rolling.
Like I'm just fucking dumping into shields. But just if you don't, even like the Overlord stuff, right? Like if you don't, you had to explain that to me a few times because I just was not fucking getting it the first time that we were trying
champions.
to do. Yeah, the champions.
Yeah.
Like just to know that stuff, like it just makes such a huge difference, but you have to know it. And there's so many of those to know now that it's, if you're going to tackle a raid, you got to make sure everybody's on the same page and they fucking understand that stuff. Because even when we were doing that one, I didn't have, when we went into that raid with all our blue guns and stuff, I didn't have a weapon that I could put a mod on it so I could shoot the barrier guys.
We later learned you actually mod your gloves, not your weapon.
Yes,
but
so
even
if
still,
listening to this, we figured it out.
Yeah, but even still, I didn't have that, so I'm a liability because I'm like, hey, I'm with Warren on section 4. There's 2 barrier guys, and I'm sitting there like, Warren, I need you to fucking shoot the barrier guys. So and he's dealing with some other guy, and other guys are coming, and
if everyone has all the tools for the job, then I think like just shooting a guy with no shields or anything, we were doing more damage on this raid than we did the first time we tried it. So I have no doubt that if everyone going in gets every part about it, understands use these guns against the barrier guys and use these guns against these shields and everything, I have no doubt it'll be easier and we can go farther than we did the first time we had a kick at it, when everyone knew what they were doing, but we were less leveled up. So I think we just got to get there. We got to get some endgame guns. It's
and just
back
into the swing of like, I hadn't played Destiny in a really long time, and then played for almost the first time yesterday. I was like, oh, I don't even remember how to fucking throw my grenades or anything.
Yeah, but it's coming, and we got to work on communication. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. Like I think we have to just tell people, just fucking say these 3 words. If nothing else is going on, just don't say anything.
Radio silence protocol.
Yeah. Like if you're a runner, runners are the ones that are talking a lot. Everybody else just quickly tell them what you need. So, and if you're getting overwhelmed, don't start freaking out. Just tell them, hey, I'm getting overwhelmed here. We're going to die if you don't get here.
You ever think about getting back to your raid days, Kev? The glory days?
Wait, what? What are we talking about?
Molten core with no backstabs?
Not really. No,
not even maybe a little 6-person raid. Maybe a little left trigger, right trigger. You know what I'm saying?
Can I play on PC?
In the new year, you can.
Yeah, but not now.
Not now. Yeah.
All right. Well, let me know when the new year comes, and I can be shooting blue. I can be shooting blue ammo at the red shields with the best of them.
That's right.
No, the shield blows up and stuns them if you use the right color.
No.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of games where if they have a red shield, then that means that red bullets don't do anything.
But
what if there was red, purple, blue? Those are the three. It's not like there's just red and blue.
All right. If that's the case, then red obviously beats blue. Blue obviously beats red. And purple is just, you just die to the people who are purple.
Yeah. Now there's fucking stasis, though. So now we have a fourth one in the mix.
There's no stasis shields.
There's going to be stasis shields.
Yeah, there's going to be stasis shields.
It's not a... Now. It does stasis damage?
There is a stasis damage gun somewhere in the world that I've not discovered yet.
What ammo color is stasis?
It's like a darker blue.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like the blue and black. It's like a combination.
Purple defeated by blue and black.
There you go.
We have our raid captain.
So I agree with you. I agree with you.
Captain, my captain.
I don't think we're going to see them this season because I think there might only be one gun and it's an exotic. But I think it's coming. Like the precedent for stasis gun damage has now been set.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
That lends a lot of credence to the 3 new or 2 more darkness types too.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more.
I wish I would have done like a more different color for like the 4th one.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get green.
Well, it's because it's ice, right?
White and black,
how do you
maybe, or like
it's tough.
They clearly wanted to use the arc color for the ice color.
They should make arc yellow. They should.
Yeah, they should make arc yellow.
They should make solar.
Yeah, they could do
orange.
That.
It should be like red ass red.
Yeah.
It's tough though because you didn't know where it was going to go when you whipped that up.
That's probably an incredibly easy change to make whenever they decide to make it. Like
people will be so
they probably have a code all the way across the board where it's like anything solar, shield, or otherwise is this color. Just move it to a redder color.
I don't know how much more Destiny you guys have to talk about.
It's Destiny Tuesday, Andy. Lots.
The one thing that I do want to throw out there is just the conversation about fucking stasis and Crucible. That's becoming a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I saw a post on Reddit today from someone who was just like, here's how you deal with stasis and Crucible. And it was just 3 steps. One of them was enter a Crucible match. Stasis kills you. Return to orbit.
That's about right.
Just don't fucking.
Right. I mean, I can save you 3 steps. Just don't go in there.
No. So the stasis grenade freezes you. If it hits you, it like freezes you in place, and you can hold B to get out. But it's like 2 or 3 seconds, which might as well be a year.
Also, you lose all your health once you come out of it. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to. So I thought it had to stick you. I'm like, well, there's a lot of grenades that kill if they stick you. What's the big deal? It doesn't have to stick you. It does.
Big AOE.
Yeah, and they fucking follow you around corners. It's like a homing missile that'll like
probably grenades we don't
around
have
corners.
Yet, but you must get as you play through the campaign.
Yeah,
maybe
I've seen a few different ones too, like the big sphere one.
Yeah, because you
guys should use those grenades.
I do.
Yeah, well, I've started. Yeah. I didn't want to. I was like, stasis is stupid. I'm not going to. I'm going to solar.
Fight the good
solar.
fight.
And then I got froze 18 times, and I was like, I'm going to change the stasis.
Yeah. I don't. I think there needs to be some adjustments made, but I don't think it doesn't. It's not like it doesn't belong there, but it definitely
just make it freeze for less amount of time. Or
exactly.
Or
maybe
less damage getting out of the freeze. Or
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I think it makes a lot of sense to freeze or do damage. Like,
have you tried to just stay in the freeze and just stay there and be like, maybe you're invincible if
you
you're in
hope
there?
that you just turn into a statue and they'll keep moving.
Yeah, if they don't notice you, but they always seem to get you.
They can shatter you if you're frozen.
And the Warlock one is fucking nuts because
is that the super or just a grenade?
With the super. So like because you freeze guys and then you send out a shockwave and anybody who's frozen just explodes.
Yep. And that goes through walls. I've died not frozen to that shockwave. It only does like a 30 your health, but if you're low and it's like, oh no, whoosh.
Yeah, like it's insane how strong it is.
I think the important thing with Crucible, and I know me and Andy differ on this, is I go into Crucible because the game is like, we'll give you some mad shit if you go and do your Crucible bounties every week.
Yeah, you get a lot of stuff for playing Crucible.
So I fucking go in there, I shut off my brain, I laugh every time I get killed, I laugh every time I kill someone else. It's the least stress PvP I've ever played in my life, and it took me a long time to find that mindset. When I was playing Destiny thinking like Crucible's good and I'm going to get good at it, it was the most infuriating PvP experience of my life. I'm like, this feel like I'm killing the guy who's shooting at me from across the map on the same shot like more often than not. It was worse than Destiny 1.
You gotta start corner shooting.
You just shoot at the corner and hope they come around the corner.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was Destiny 1. It was like there were lines where like you shoot because you think someone's gonna walk around, and if you hit them first, you win.
Yeah, like I do not play Crucible to get good at Crucible anymore. I play Crucible to, like, if my only thing I have to do in a Crucible match is kill someone with a grenade, it's just spawn, throw grenade, spawn. Wait for my grenade cooldown and throw grenade. Just running around hoping that I can find a guy that my teammate has gotten down to 25% health, and then he killed my teammate, so I can just throw a grenade at him and finish it.
Yeah, where I'm on the same page as you, where I don't want to play it And that's the same with Gambit and stuff too. And really all
I like Gambit. I think Gambit's
I really like
enjoy
Gambit.
Gambit.
I really like Gambit, yeah. But I don't like if I don't have to do anything in Gambit, I'm not just gonna play Gambit for the fun of it. Like Destiny, I still need to be getting something from it. But when it comes to Crucible, like I'm really excited for this season because now I can earn my rank high enough to go do Trials of Osiris and really get into the competitive stuff.
There was a part when we jumped back in where it was like, what's the point in doing any of this? We're so far behind because we jumped in the middle of the season.
Right, in the last one for Shadowkeep.
Yeah, whereas this one, it's like, oh, I'm going to get up to what, Legendary 3.
Yeah, like now I can do it. And I genuinely enjoy that. Like when I go through a Crucible match and when I have efficiency of 2 and I fucking am just knocking guys with that bow, I'm like, fuck yeah, this feels good.
I don't feel anything.
That's a hero that uses the bow. Man, bow is like a champion's weapon. How do you gotta hit 2 headshots with the bow is hard.
No, I'm pretty good.
Pulse rifle is like brr, brr, done.
You have to
lives and dies by that bow. There's some guy who's just fucking like in the raid, they were like, you don't use a bow here.
Yeah.
Don't use a bow
Also,
for this
you guys told me that story, and I'm like, oh, I can't fucking wait to get back raid, and everyone just, you should be using a bow for this
That's why it's great
fighter.
that we have 6 people, because at least they're all devils you know.
I want to be that guy to Aber.
Right, yeah, like you're not worried about, like, we're not set up in a meta sense, we're not set up for this at all. There were guns that they were basically putting a big sign in front of us being like, get this sniper rifle. We're going to make you skip all of it. You just have to go in and do this thing, get this sniper rifle. It's important. And we're just like,
I'm probably fine.
We'll find a way.
Well, and like with that, and bless that guy's heart who was helping guide us because when he was just like, you need like really fast damage. I wouldn't recommend bows. And I was just like, I think I'm gonna be just fine. Yeah. And then he just fucking went along with it. Like he didn't challenge me on it or anything.
Went up and killed all the guys Andy was supposed to be killing. And
I fucking did just fine.
That is exactly what he said to the guy when he said he was like, I wouldn't really recommend a bow for this section. He's like, and Andy said, I think I'm doing just fine. Which made me laugh.
I fucking got this. We're good. But yes, I do.
And
like
he was the guy who guided us. Bless his heart, I can't remember his name, but he was like listing off the DPS weapons for the damage phase of a fight. He's like, well, you're gonna want to use this. This is the best one. We're like, we don't have that, and he's like, okay, you could use this, and you could use this if you do this.
He's getting down to like pick 19.
He like lists like 5 guns, and we're like, we're going to any of those.
Cold Heart?
Remember
when all you needed was Cold Heart? Yeah. Everyone was so hot and bothered by Cold Heart.
Yeah. Oh, that gun was easy to get, too.
Yeah, that
gun. On a PlayStation.
That gun was fucking good, though. Like, that thing was deadly.
Still got her.
Now, hopefully they put in, I'm praying, because on the last night we could have raided, and it didn't end up mattering because they were going to shut the servers down too early. But on the last night, I was like, I said to Andy Warren, I was like, yo, we're not going to get anything from doing this raid, from trying to do this raid on the last night. Should we maybe just spend the night trying to get that fucking gun? And both of them were just like, I don't really care about sniper rifles.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that sniper.
Yeah.
I was willing to.
I don't care. I don't never use sniper rifles. Apparently, you can do mad damage on bosses with this thing.
You want to know the truth?
I wanted to know the truth at the moment I asked.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, now it's past.
We can't get it anymore.
Now if it's going to hurt me, I definitely don't want to know the truth.
Okay.
I think you can still get it. I think it's just
there's got to be a way to get it.
You cannot still get it now.
You can't
but you might be able to eventually get it in the future.
It'll come back.
Yeah, they've said on their list of things that are out of the game, that is
the
one
op,
of them.
Right? The one, if you get a headshot, you don't need to reload.
The op and the Whisper and the Worm, I think it's called.
Whisper of the Worm or whatever?
Whisper of the Worm might be. Those are the 2 guns that they said you should get these, and that's why they like put them on like the map, the planet maps, to be like, just click it and we'll send you right in.
Whoops.
Still didn't get them.
Isn't that, weren't you talking for weeks ago about how you wanted to get that gun?
Never
and you're like,
it.
Wow.
Don't know why.
We fucking
Boys didn't
tried.
want to do it.
No, I wanted to do it.
There is a truth hidden within Andy that he's going to tell me right now, but I'm putting the wall up.
I know. I have my reason why.
What is it?
I guess we have to know.
We weren't going to be able to get it.
Oh, we were 100% going to be able to get it.
I don't think we
were so much better than the last time we tried.
I don't think we would have been able to do it.
Heave little faith.
Yeah.
I do have little faith.
Let's bring the Destiny talk to a close here in the next few.
It wasn't the reason why I didn't want it to do it that night, because I would have done it. It's just, I don't know why we did it. I was like, hey, if you want to do it, let's do it. But then we just
we had a way better chance of getting that done than we had of beating the raid that night.
Yeah, no, I was in. I was like, if you want to go and try to get this gun, let's do it. I was down. All you would have had to do is say, let's go.
I'll show you the text messages. Yeah. That's not That's not at all the vibe. You were like, I don't care about this sniper rifle. Let's do the raid.
I don't.
I was the one who was like, whatever you guys want to do.
Right, but if you wanted to tell me no, I really think we should get this, I was totally willing to do it. But the raid was more. It was more important for me to get the raid done.
Also, if the best weapon this time around is a gun from the last expansion, I don't want to play Destiny anymore. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, well, you would hope so. Well, yeah.
If there's no reason to get any of the weapons, and like you should have
right?
just had this op, use the op for all bosses.
No, like there's no. It's tools for the job in a way where it's like it's never the best gun in Destiny. It's like if you need to do the highest DPS from range, this is the gun you want. If you need to do highest DPS tight end, this is the gun you want.
But you would hope that the old guns will be like sunset in a way that encourages you to use the new exhaust.
And they've taken, like I said, they've taken out a lot of them.
Yeah.
But people who already have them, I don't think they've like nerfed them too bad or anything.
Yeah. Well, my scout tool is sunset at 1260, which isn't very high. Super not high.
Almost there.
Yeah, I've seen some that go all the way up to like 1360.
Yeah. No, 1260 is the season cap, isn't it?
But I've seen my other weapons don't have, like, it has a hard limit. It's like you can only empower this up to 1260,
right.
and
so
the other weapons say like 1360.
You can take this gun to the end of this season.
Oh, I see. Okay,
and then it'll
going forward.
And then probably going forward from this season, it'll stay at 1260, but things will go past that.
Interesting.
Yes.
Destiny, very good. I'm gonna get home and play tonight. I'm gonna get home, do a fucking crazy trip to go get my Xbox, and play more Destiny.
Boot up some Destiny.
Yeah.
That's what we're all gonna do, except Kevin.
Kevin?
Except Kevin.
Have you been playing any games? Wake up, Kevin. What have you been playing?
More Hades.
Yeah.
Tell me about Hades.
No.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
Too much Hades talk.
No, we kiboshed the Hades.
The only thing I want to say is my win streak is still alive.
How many?
I'm up to 24, 25 now.
Jeez.
That's a lot of wins in a row.
Yeah. I only mention it because
I'm a braggart.
I watched that too. But I watched a YouTube video from some very prominent streamer who has a couple world records in a couple different categories in Hades.
Oh, the Mad Eats.
And he only had 23 wins in a row. And I'm like, what a chump!
Oh, wow.
Not the world record for the most wins.
That's for damn
go
sure.
In chat and tell him that?
No, it was a YouTube video.
Hey, you fuck.
Should just posted your fucking screenshot of your thing.
But
no
yeah,
comment.
I have noticed that the empowered weapon or whatever it is that you get the extra darkness with seems to land on the railgun a whole lot for me.
You think it's bugged?
My railgun, I'm on heat 9 with the railgun, and I think I'm on heat 3 with the sword.
The other stuff, yeah.
So it's like, what the hell?
That's fucked.
Because I always just pick whichever one has the bonus darkness and the bonus gems.
Yeah, that's what I always did too.
So, but yeah, that's Hades. We played some more Phasmophobia.
Yeah, Yumi and Andrew
on the stream with the boys.
I was stunned that Andy played that game.
Yeah.
It was and when we talked about it on the pod last week, like the example that I used was when we were talking about the Lighthouse movie, where I don't really like thrillers, I don't like being scared, I don't like that stuff, but just every now and then something just grabs me, and like that movie grabbed me, and this game, when you guys were talking about it, I was like, I'm fucking super curious about this game. Like, if I'm going to play a game like this, it's going to be with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think this would be a game that I would ever want to play by myself.
No. It wouldn't. I don't know if it would be that fun, honestly.
No, exactly, right?
It wouldn't be. It is definitely designed to play with people.
Totally. It's like it's almost gotten to the point for me now where I've played enough that it's like the jump scares don't really work on me as well as they did. And now it's becoming like just a mechanical, like, okay, how are we gonna get in there and like win this game?
For me, it's still the suspense of what's gonna happen next is still getting me scared when I'm playing it.
Yeah.
But like seeing the ghost for the first time and getting killed for the first time, it's like once that happens once, then it's like, yeah, well, kind of doesn't get you the second time.
Hearing your friends getting killed for the first time is always still
that is very good. Yes.
Yeah, but that was with me too, and like, I mean, I don't think I'm quite there yet, but after a couple of encounters, I was like, okay, I'm starting to get a little more comfortable.
Yeah, it gets a little mechanical in a way that I hope they can like introduce some kind of I don't know what they could do, but it's very mechanical, and we're like, all right, I'm gonna grab the thermometer, this. Find the low temperature. Okay, I'm gonna throw down my 3 evidence pieces. Okay, I'm gonna go get my bonus objectives done. Back to the van. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And I hope they find a way to kind of, again, I don't know if this is, you can randomize the gameplay somehow.
They need more wild cards. Like,
totally.
the
temperature shouldn't always work. Maybe would be a great fix.
Exactly,
like some ghosts shouldn't change the temperature.
Yes, absolutely. Like stuff like that. Things that need a little more experimenting and a little more, just.
I don't know.
I think
that
find this ghost.
I think that the temperature thing kind of needs to happen because some of those places have so many rooms.
Yeah, but there's
And
like a
if you
lot
have
of.
to, if you have to put down a video camera in each one of them and look for ghost orbs,
No, because that would be the same problem as the
45
temperature, right?
minutes.
If every
But
ghost
that's
uses
the thing,
one
though,
thing,
right?
it's-
The thing is, you need to have that one thing that narrows it down. Otherwise, you're going to be looking for the ghost
just
for an hour.
generic haunted shit, lights flickering,
I was gonna
doors
say,
opening,
yeah,
closing.
you can just use
Sinks
some,
turning on
like,
and off.
keys and like just some sort of environmental thing that is
Yeah,
kind of
okay.
throwing that in there. So that's another avenue.
I guess I'm more thinking
Temperature
of
in
what,
haunted places goes down, gentlemen. That's not video.
But maybe the
It's
whole
true.
building, like you could do it where the whole building's cold. Like you bring your thermometer.
That'd be a
and
good
you're
one.
Like every fucking room is cold.
That'd be really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
because one of the evidence things is like you find freezing temperatures. What if you go out and it's
in
like
Canada.
-5?
Go
Yeah,
up to Canada,
Like, oh,
they're just like, oh fuck, this doesn't work.
trying to bang the ice off the
yeah.
thermometer.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like
a
do
good
one
idea.
where it's like just like a winter environment. You're like, hey, it's just fucking cold here. So how are you gonna do this?
Yeah.
You know, or maybe have it where you're in a room and it's cold, and then all of a sudden the room gets hot, and you're okay. This was the room. Where the fuck did it go? And then you have to kind of go figure that out. Like there's ways that they can change it up a little
What
bit.
about like you go into a room and the thing starts going into the warm, and then it just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, and then you burst into flames.
That'd be good too.
Yeah, that could honestly be good. Yeah, like it's too fucking hot or something. right?
Pyrokinesis ghost or something.
But yeah, a lot of like when we were starting to figure out what ghost it was, even in spite of the clues and stuff like that one where we were playing and we figured out that it was a poltergeist because they were throwing shit around,
Yeah, that was cool.
or that it was
There was one that Annie and I did before you guys joined that we figured out the ghost. There was one type of ghost that only attacks if you're by yourself. Or no, maybe that was with you. Only by yourself, and then we like left a room and you were maybe
yeah,
behind for like
Oh, that was all four of us.
yeah, just like a
Yeah, it was
quarter of
four
a
us,
second
but-
behind, and
as
like
soon as we all left, the ghost immediately attacked.
yeah, and we were able to figure like, well, it attacked with only one of us in there, so we think it's probably this type of ghost.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
lost a life, but we figured it out. So
wasn't worth it if you ask me.
no, I said that every time I fucking died, but everybody's just like, oh, we got it, Andy, good job. I'm like, well, I'm dead, but
I'm like, well, your sacrifice wasn't in vain, is usually what I'm saying.
that made me feel better dying 3 games in a row.
But the like deductive reasoning part is really fun. The rare times that like that poltergeist one was so fucked because we're like,
Yeah.
is this game glitching out? What the fuck is happening? I'm so sure that I put an item in this room and it is not in this room. Are you guys fucking with me? And we're like, oh no, it's the poltergeist is throwing these things everywhere.
I really like the one too where she was singing when we were doing it.
Yeah,
Like,
that
there's
was
something you can do with
upsetting.
that where like maybe you instead of finding the temperature of a room, you got to listen for singing or something because that's fucking creepy
Playing
too.
the piano.
Yeah, like singing is creepy, right? So singing. There we go. It's creepy. So like to like walk into a building and be like, "Hey, everybody, quiet," and then you can like faintly hear it. Like that stuff's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as you get closer, then the lights start flickering. She's going into attack mode. Then it's like, yeah, like there's options. Like there's things they can do to really spice that game up.
It's very cool. It's a super dope framework, and I'm still having a super fun time, even when it's not.
Recent success it's been getting will kind of help them finance some changes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hire
we talked
staff.
about it last week, and the dev has said that because of the success and the 2.5 million copies that they've sold,
They can maybe do some things.
they can do some things with it now.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's definitely it's got a lot of potential to be like some sort of an ongoing thing. And yeah, I'd like the run speed to maybe be a little bit quicker. Not a fan of
So
that.
the reason it's so slow is because it's a VR game. The reason everything is like so weird, and the reason you have to like click and drag doors and like do the interactions are so weird is because it's a VR game that's made for like grabbing and opening doors and moving at a speed that doesn't make you vomit in VR.
Oh, okay.
And like if any of us had a headset, I do, but it's not working. You could play that game in the fucking headset, which sounds like the worst.
That sounds neat though. Like
Yeah.
that's a good
The
game.
worst in like a scary way.
Yeah,
Oh.
super.
Yeah.
The worst
Oh,
in
yeah.
like
Way too terrifying.
when it gets bad, I can't close my eyes anymore because like it's all around me.
Yeah, like it fucking.
I mean, you still close your eyes.
Yeah, I guess I could.
But that is a good game for VR. Like that is a great platform to test out a VR headset and
Yeah.
like have something that actually would work and would be semi fun to play. I guess I don't know,
But
terrifying.
I bet moving the cameras around and stuff would be real cool, and sitting them down in VR. I bet there's some cool interactions in there.
Yeah. But even still, it would be nice if they made it so that there was like, okay, you're doing it in VR or you're doing it on the computer. It needs like a computer mode. I don't need to run at 100 miles an hour. I just need to, when
It's
I push
so
the
slow.
run button, go from a incredibly slow crawl to not even normal walking
It's
speed.
like
it's
the
not
run-
even normal walking speed.
It's
when
like
you-
the run button they added in Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. It's like that level. It's less than that level probably
Skateboard.
of improvement, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I could use some rollerblades in there.
Speaking of scary games, Warren started playing Resident Evil 7.
Oh, that's a
Watched him play
scary
some
game.
Resident Evil 7 the other day, and I remember that game is also in VR, and that sounds truly awful as well.
Yeah.
Because boy, is that game... I forgot how scary the beginning of that game is.
Oh yeah, you're like, there's a part where you have to like go through gross deep water like up to here on you that I bet would suck. I'm holding my hand to my nose for listening to the audio. Would really suck in VR.
Yeah.
Phasmophobia, heck of a game.
Yeah, it's good.
We played the hard difficulties, which I think are like appropriately difficult.
I fell behind on that. I didn't enjoy it as much. I felt like I was the straggler in the group, and
You also, for some, Andy died like every time. It was always.
I didn't die in the hard modes though. I just felt like I was just like I wasn't ever contributing anything. Like I was so far behind. I was.
It was you and I. We were like, I remember hiding in that hallway with you. We're like, oh god, we have to hide, and so we're just in the middle of an open hallway, so we just hunker down and like.
The whole time, Eads, you're thinking to yourself, "Thank God,
We're so
Andy's with me 'cause
invisible."
He's gonna be the one that gets killed."
Totally.
There was one fucking part where Kevin and I were together, and Kevin is in fucking front of me, and we're both watching the ghost come towards us, and I'm like, Kevin's gonna get fucking killed. I got killed. Why?
I could smell your fear.
I was so
I watched
mad.
the ghost literally pass through my body on its way to kill Andy.
Fuck, I was mad. I was so
straight out
mad.
of the movies.
And like I couldn't even get mad. There was the point when I knew it was happening and I wanted to yell, but I didn't because you can't yell because it picks up your voice, which is very cool as well too. And I was so mad about that. But yeah, that's also segueing out of that. I love how it's like you need to say the ghost's name and stuff to like aggravate it and stuff. That's cool that it's integrating voice. And like when the hunt happens, you can't talk in the headset. That stuff's neat. I really like that.
Yeah, the in-world voice chat is very cool. Even
Yeah.
if it's a little broken right now.
I've heard, and this is only read it in an article kind of thing, but I heard that even if you have your mic off for like voice chat, and you still say the ghost's name into your mic, it'll still pick it up.
Wait, what?
Like if you turn your local chat off in game, but you still say the ghost's name
I see.
into
If you're
the
using, like,
mic.
push to talk or something.
Yeah,
but
if you're
don't
using
actually
push and you don't push it,
Oh,
and you say the ghost's name, it'll still pick it up.
that's kind of interesting. It's cool. It's neat. They should make more games in that vein. I like hunting ghosts with my friends.
Yeah. Well, if PUBG showed us anything, it probably will.
Sure, I guess.
Well,
If
they made
Fortnite has taught us anything.
Well, no, because they made PUBG and everybody's like, "Oh, it's fucking the greatest thing on planet Earth."
Yeah,
and
but
everybody's fucking making
these
battle royales.
people didn't make PUBG.
But it's that same kind of platform where it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is becoming very
I will
successful."
say,
Any new genre that catches fire, then
Yeah.
everyone will have that kick in the
I
can.
don't think the ghost hunting genre is quite as
No, it's not as battle
like
royale.
ready to spark off. Yeah, as lucrative as the battle royale.
I was definitely making a bit of a tongue-in-cheek remark there.
Well, it's like
but
fine
then-
hot sauce, right? It's hard to get the spiciness and the flavor. That
Well, now you got to segue into a Tron promo.
I forgot to do all the promos off the top of this show. Oh well, I guess we'll do them at the end. Phasmophobia. Any other games? Anyone?
I finished the Doom DLC.
How's it end? Well,
Much more cliffhangery than the actual campaign.
it's a two-parter though. We knew, right?
Two-part,
Yeah. Okay.
And they're even called Part 1, Part 2. So I was expecting not a clean finish. It's good. I fucking love Doom.
Any new guns or mods or
I
like?
think I already talked about kind of not new guns, but new new ways you have to use the guns to kill enemies. So
That's cool.
yeah.
Sorry.
That's
Any,
it. No, I think
yeah,
that's
I think
everything.
trying to. I always have this like I'm pretty sure I played something else, but I don't know what it was. Uninstalled Avengers.
Oh, good for you.
Had to.
Fuck, I was looking at it today. I did a huge, as soon as I set the new Xbox down, I fucking went in there and cleared a bunch of shit out. I was looking at Avengers like, I might just fucking get rid of you for the time being. But I just, not because I need that space, just because fuck you.
It's a principle.
Yeah.
That with me and Andy got burned on that game even worse than you and Warren did. Like it was like
Oh yeah, because you guys had that
we
like
had that
couldn't
bug
finish
that
the
because
game.
I was talking about that with Warren where we were talking about like, well, probably shouldn't have paid $80 for it.
That-
Like the campaign was good, but we probably should have paid $40 for the campaign or something.
And I was
and then I was just like, and then the campaign pissed me off anyway. Like the campaign I enjoyed, but I had a big moment of like, fuck video games playing that campaign.
And it really, I felt super burned as well too, because I was hesitant for all those reasons. I was like, I'm gonna fucking buy this game, and it's just not gonna run very well. It's not gonna be very good. And then after I played it, it was worse than I envisioned, and I hated it.
What is this, like Gollum?
Like it fucking, the fucking unimaginable happened where it got to the point where I just couldn't even fucking play the game. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's really fucked up.
And then it just one night we were just playing, and it just kind of washed over me where I was like, I think I'm done for now. Like I can't.
I want to
do
say
this
that
anymore.
I think at the end, me and Matt Eads were the last one trying to sell the sauce. We had like one day.
Kind of fun to play.
We had one day where we were just like knocking stuff off, like in the middle of the night. Not in the middle of the night, but it was like late. And I was just like, yeah, I'll keep playing this. Like, as long as the fellas keep playing this, I'll keep playing this. And then I think there was just not like an official group chat moment of we're not playing this anymore. It was just like one day no one ever talked about it.
Yeah, like, like there was, I think the last thing I heard from anybody about Avengers was Eads saying, I'm the greatest lore of all time. And then that was it.
It's
That's all.
That's the truth.
It's the truth.
Yeah, I don't deny it.
I have a max level Iron Man, and I almost never die with him. I would go toe to toe with anyone else's Iron Man. I think we had the best of everyone.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
then
Our
stopped
captain was a
playing.
little lacking.
yeah, a little bit. But that's because he
He
didn't want-
refused to jump. He's like, he's always 20 fucking miles behind because he's walking so damn slow. He's like, I don't like the fast
I
jump.
look stupid if I jump.
I like to walk slow. I'm RPing. that's role playing.
I don't want to fucking. It's like fucking Zelda when I'm watching somebody play Zelda and they're fucking rolling the whole time. It's like fuck off, just run, just fucking run.
Yeah,
It's
you're
faster.
whatever weird. That's a video. That should be a video game rule. Is you should never have to do something out of the norm to go faster than your general traveling speed.
It's fucking annoying. Like I don't want to sit there and you guys are just fucking flying.
Laughing.
Yeah, I literally-
laughing at
literally
the top
just
of our
fly,
lungs.
which is
like,
super
I'll come
funny.
by and like do like circles around Andy, laughing at him, and then bust off again.
Yeah, and I'm just like, and part of that I like that we kind of all have our own things. Like that's kind of comical to me, and it never inhibited my experience. I was like, that stuff's fine. The
was
thing that
fun.
inhibited my experience was just the fucking run power of that game.
Yeah.
When we were playing, and it was kind of a real kind of eye opener in a way. When we're playing fucking Destiny, and in some of those stasis fights where everybody just constantly is getting stasis, and there's fucking ice shooting
There's
up everywhere,
walls blowing up. Everything's going fucking crazy.
and Brando's just like, wow, this game is running
just
really
fucking
well
runs
right
like
on
butter.
this
Yeah.
old system.
It's hanging in there.
It's no, like not even hanging in there. Nothing, no issues. You're fucking, everybody is shooting ice out of their ass, and there's not a drop in frame rate. There's nothing. But fucking Avengers, Lord forbid, I fucking want to throw my shield, and I just can't do it.
Yeah. Very few positive things to say about Avengers.
The frames got so bad in Avengers where it's like it just felt like you were pushing buttons and you're like, oh fuck, I'm pushing in between frames and it's not registering.
Yeah, like the one thing, if there's any freaking light to come out of that game, it's that
We're beyond
there's
light
The
now.
friends we made along the way.
there's something yeah, like exactly, there is something there. Like there were times I was having a lot of fun. Like I like it when I'm
That's
playing
so
Cap.
much because it's Marvel.
Yeah, I think the thing there is they look like the characters from those movies we really like.
But they play fun too. Like if it's running well, I really enjoy playing. No, I really do. Like I'm playing as Cap and
plays
like
well,
whipping
but-
the shield around and like punching and seeing Brando come in to like start shooting guys from the air. Like Marvel Avengers aside, there's some fun gameplay there. It's just
It's maybe like 4 minutes of fun gameplay that they literally just recycle for the next live service, infinite hours.
Yeah. I can't imagine playing that game in any way other than how we played it, where I was having fun because I was like, it's all four of us and we're Avengers. People are throwing people in the air and I'm shooting them.
Yeah.
It's the dopest thing I've ever seen. But then you just do that for hours.
Yeah.
yeah, it needs more. It needs to
Needs
like
more.
it sucks because we're saying. I always compare it to Destiny just because they're kind of running for
Service
this.
games,
They're
yeah.
trying to do the same thing, right?
Compared to Anthem.
But Anthem's just a lost cause. But Destiny, when that started out, that game didn't know what it was. The game didn't know what it was, and a lot of people put it aside. Now it's turned into something that is quite enjoyable for people if they're into that. It found itself. Avengers, I see, is the same way, where it kind of needs to just find what it is, but it runs so fucking bad. Like
Yeah.
the game
Well,
itself
the
is
thing
so
with
fucking
Avengers
broken.
is they know that what they want to be. They want to be Destiny.
Yeah.
They want, like, someone has done the console version of that now that people want to copy and have the daily bounties and everything. And it's like the blueprint is there. I think a lot of companies are realizing how hard it is to get to where Destiny took years and years to get to.
And you want to hear the real conspiracy theory with Avengers specifically was with that next gen version not coming out, not being ready apparently. I don't think that game was ever coming out this year. I think they totally like that game getting out on current gen consoles and running like it does is like a fucking mystery. It should never have happened.
It's ridiculous. And one of my big arguments, sorry if you have to continue, was that once we get the new Xboxes and stuff, this game is going to catch up because they made it for new gen consoles.
And they said next gen version available the day the new consoles come out. It's done. We're just waiting for the consoles to come out. That game, again, very conspiratorial, wasn't coming out this year. Maybe they needed to put something, I don't know, they just need something on their budget. They release it because it's before the new console, so everybody buys it.
We gotta make some money on this thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they release it after the new consoles,
fucking Destiny's coming out. We better be fucking there to get the people and pull them away from it. Like,
and I don't, like we've said here too, a Marvel movie comes out and that whole thing just is fired back up.
This has the benefit of just constantly putting Marvel as the number one thing in the world over and over again.
But with no Marvel movies in 2020, like, maybe you should just wait till 2021. Again, I don't know what the business at Square Enix is.
Yes, I agree with you.
they should have waited.
Maybe you should have actually finished that game and put it like the part where it comes out and more than half the people who play it can't get more than halfway through the story is like, no, this thing was really fucked.
And it was so fucked when you guys looked it up and it was like, it's only like a small amount of the player base. Both Brando and I fucking ran into the same problem.
It was a huge number of players.
I couldn't believe it. And when I'm running into that room, I fucking knew that was a spot. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no fucking way.
You can almost feel it coming.
Yeah. And like,
it's going to be another one of us.
Yeah. And it fuck, I could not believe it. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Two of us.
There's no way they didn't know. There's no way they're putting this game out like, it runs poorly? What? Like, no, they knew it and we're like, just get it anyways. People will buy it. It says Avengers. They're going to hate it once the new movie and the fixed real version comes out in 2021. We can just sell it again, you know?
And they have a better chance of making this work than Destiny had because they have that constant, like, we'll hit it for the Black Widow movie. And then we'll hit it for the Eternals movie. Eternals is the next one, I think. But
WandaVision's in there too somewhere. I guess that's a show.
That's a show. But still, that would get people talking about it too.
Whereas Destiny had everything against it. People being
like, have to try and get people back.
Yeah, we hate this. This world is dumb and we hate it.
I was going to say, they had to create their own world. Like, they're trying to create their own thing, right? And it took a while for people to get involved in it. And still, like, even...
I'd like to buy us all, including Kevin, Destiny down since day one t-shirts.
I would fucking wear the fuck out of that shirt. Yeah. But anyways, even when it comes to the end of the year, like there are parts of that Avengers game that I really enjoyed. I had some moments that were fun. There's some of it I liked. I'm not even going to consider it for game of the year because of how poorly it runs. It is just...
That's my number one, so we'll see where it lands in the...
But it's one of those games where I'm willing to put up with some bugs for a game. I'm willing to put up with some issues, but it's unacceptable what that game did. It's fucking unacceptable. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's ridiculous. You should not... It should be fucking illegal to put something like that
offended.
out there. I am, because that game cost $80.
Yep.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, a game that cost me $60, remakes... fucking blows it out of the water.
One of the best games of the year.
Yeah, it's an absolutely incredible game. It's simple, but they did it right. There is nothing wrong with that video game. There should not be fucking anything wrong with
Does it have Darth Maul?
No.
I think I found something wrong with that video game.
Don't worry, I got a list.
Okay, good.
Yeah, of games that don't have Darth Maul. But,
I love passion. Andrew.
But it's just because I bought Avengers wanting to buy it, and I bought Tony Hawk as an afterthought. And then after I played both those games, I'm just like, I'm comparing to random games that I like.
I feel almost betrayed by the.
But I do, right? Because I'm like, this is like, how the fuck does this happen? Like,
and you just have like, it feels like you have just even less patience for like big corporations making games with like unfailable licenses where you're like, you couldn't even get good enough.
Yeah, the the pandemic excuse doesn't really hold water when you are a literal I don't know how big Square is, but the Marvel's franchise is $1 billion franchise.
The pandemic started in May.
Yeah, and this game has theoretically been being worked on since
Like, I have
Rise of the Tomb Raider, I guess.
I have no doubt that crunch was very affected, but at the same time, it's like you didn't have something close here. It's not like it's not like it fell apart at the finish line because of COVID. It's like, no, you weren't even close.
Yeah.
It's not that this isn't optimized. This isn't done.
Yeah, that fucking game. They got a news story about how poorly it's doing, and they deserve it.
Oh, we get to talk more about it.
They
Yay.
take a big loss. Let's take a break here, and we'll come back, do some news. On the other side of this musical break, we're going to talk about some news, gang.
Let's do it.
Top story tonight. This one, so we actually recorded before this happened last week, but BioWare announced that those Mass Effect remasters are real.
Oh, fucking baby.
And will be out in spring 2021.
This is the toppest news we've maybe ever had on
Is this finally the time? Is this where I have to finally get in and play Mass Effect?
Absolutely.
This would be a great time to finally play Mass Effect.
That time did pass, but also it's come again.
Oh, okay.
This is what I've been waiting for. Two things. One, I tagged Brando in that news story. You didn't like my comment.
I already knew.
Second, what was my chirp that I made at BioWare if that wasn't going to be the announcement? I said something about throwing him off the Walterdale or something. I don't know.
God, I don't even remember that. But that is an awful threat.
I had because they were doing that round table or that panel or whatever, and I was like, they don't fucking announce those remakes. And then I said I was going to do something, but I can't remember.
They are local.
I think it would be hard to throw
Yes.
an entire company off of a bridge.
Well, I'll do it, Kevin.
And he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
The greatest
likes to
edibles
say.
eater of all time. Let's see here. It's gonna have Mass Effect 1, 2, 3. All
Those are the
DLC.
three you want.
All pro.
There's
Yes,
a fourth
not
game they decided not to include.
not Andromeda. And they say remaster for 4K UHD, but they don't say. Does that mean it's gonna have HDR? Or is it gonna?
I feel like if that game has HDR, you tell people that game has HDR.
I think UHD might imply that.
I think those
no?
are different things.
No? Okay. And they also confirmed they're working on a new Mass Effect game, but it's for the same reason BioWare does not want to get shuttered, so they have to be like, we're working on Dragon Age, and Mass Effect.
What else you like?
We got that Star Wars MMO still going too, so
Oh, goodness.
don't shut us down, please. It's finally time, Kevin, to play Mass Effect.
But the thing I'm most excited about on this, I'm going to play through all of them. I already know it.
The Benezia and Rachni Queen finally in separate encounters.
Kind of that. It's basically how did they change Mass Effect 1 on more than a graphical level?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's going to be an effort to make Mass Effect 1 more like Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Which, as much as I love all three of those games for very different reasons, and the reasons I love 1 is because it's so different, I think the time is now to maybe make it feel like when people like Kevin or anyone who's never played these games comes to Mass Effect, if they have not changed anything, they're going to be like, Mass Effect 1 is bad.
Yeah.
I think I've played like 85% of Mass Effect 1.
Okay, so then you at least know what you're getting there.
Yeah.
And that's the one I think that is going to scare people away, which is a shame that it's the first one.
I had that experience because I never played Halo as a child, so I played the Master Chief Collection, and that first fucking Halo.
You bite your tongue.
Let me tell you about rooms that all fucking look the same.
The year was 2004. That first Halo is still a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's a little rough though. It ain't no 3.
Okay.
Jeez,
Jesus Christ.
I guess you never know when someone comes back to them for the first time.
I forgot Andy was like 13 years old. Grew up with Halo. My first Halo.
No, I just never played them. I wasn't allowed to as a kid.
Nah, they were rated M.
Yeah, there
My mom didn't care if they were aliens.
Halo
Are
1
you
is
killing people? I'm like,
Well,
no, ideally I'm saving people.
They're not my people. They're our people, yes, but
Yeah, I've rolled a warthog or two onto my allies, but it's not intentional.
Your mom would have lost her shit when you played when she first saw you play as the Arbiter in 2, beginning of 2. She'd be like, "Oh, fucking justice for the elites."
Can't do that.
The Sangheili, Andrew.
I don't know what that is. I've forgotten all.
That's what the elites are called.
I don't fucking know.
They're part of the Covenant.
Look, I still think that Halo 1's a great game.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it was a little rough compared
Best
to
written. It is by far the best playing. The encounter design is impeccable.
Sounds like somebody who
Music.
3 before would say.
Oh, the music. The VO is a little rough, but video games in 2000.
Music is really good.
Yeah.
The guy had fingers in that first scene when you had the Commander Keyes. He had fucking fingers.
Yeah, a pipe. He had a pipe.
Yeah. And I remember being like, dude, you got fingers. It's not just a big Lego block hand.
Oh yeah, Commander Keyes is dope.
Yeah. Was dope.
Yeah, Captain Keyes. Pardon me.
Oh, Captain. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
So when the Mass Effect stuff comes out, for guys who haven't played it, should we give a fuck about 4, or do we just
No.
Ooh, it's not even called 4. It's called Andromeda, and it has nothing to do with the original trilogy.
Yeah. Okay.
The premise of Andromeda is before 3 started, they sent a bunch of people out to the fucking far reaches of the galaxy like farther than has any contact with the original world. And isn't it like 600 years in the future?
Yeah, 300, something like that.
Yeah, like it's hundreds of years in the future, so it's so removed it has nothing to do with the original trilogy.
Yeah,
except
all
for
I
it's
know
set in the
about
same
it,
universe.
all I know about it is that Andromeda is like everybody says it's the best of the
That's
best
what
of
I've
the
heard
Mass
too.
Effects,
Yeah.
Yes,
The combat's
it was
very good.
definitely not maybe my most disappointing video game moment of all time.
Cool.
The combat was pretty good.
Yeah, combat was pretty good. I'm trying to think what my most disappointing video game moment. Metal Gear 5 was a real roller coaster of highs and lows. Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Maybe Death Stranding.
No, that game is aged like a fine wine.
You're not
All
wrong.
this less than a year
That
later.
He was
knows-
right.
That game knows what it is.
Ukes, the makers of fine products like WWE 2K12 to 19, I think were the years maybe, who are no longer making those games, are now making AEW games, which sounds dope.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings on this.
Is Cody Rhodes what is he in AEW? Is he the...
So he got his name back, which
Yeah.
was good. He's a Rhodes now again.
Yeah. Does
The
he...
American Nightmare is his.
He runs AEW though, right? Is he like...
Oh, I see.
CEO
Yes,
of
so-
AEW or
I'm
whatever?
not sure what his title is. That's what you mean.
Anyways, he runs AEW. Cody Rhodes likes video games. Cody Rhodes knows a thing or two about games in a way that Vince probably doesn't even know what they are.
No.
Do they make me money?
Can I put my name on it? Yes, you can, Vince.
Okay,
Does it
Vince.
make me money? We'll see.
Maybe not this year.
Used to.
I think that game made money.
Make the
every
hair
year it
worse.
came out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But we could get really good wrestling games soon. The potential for good wrestling games has never been so high.
I will say this game is not out yet,
No.
but there are some screenshots out.
Yes.
There's
I
no
saw-
guarantee we are getting a very good looking video game.
Yeah, I saw Kenny Omega. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
so yeah.
I had to ask.
Is that
is
Kenny
that
Omega?
See, the only problem with an AEW game, like, it doesn't really matter to me how good of a game it is.
It's got
It
stars,
doesn't
you know?
have the 40 or 50 years of history of all the
That's gonna
nostalgic
be-
wrestlers that WWF has, or WWE, sorry.
That's going to be a lot of people, I think, when it
But-
comes to sales.
It's like, sure, it could be a good game, but I don't want to play as the dudes from AEW.
You don't want to play as Chris Jericho, known Trump supporter who illegally donated twice, once under his wrestling name, once under his real name, which is against the law. Chris Jericho?
Chris Jericho
feel like I'm
is
working over
two different people, so that's why he got away
in a
with
way,
it.
it is
Yeah,
legal
fair
because
enough.
he's a different man in the ring.
Exactly.
enough. Yeah. Longhorn Steakhouse.
Is he Chris Jericho in AEW?
Yeah, is he the champ still?
Yeah, he's in that game.
He was champ.
I mean, is his name Chris Jericho in
Yes.
AEW?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't know if he's the inaugural champ, but he was champ real early.
He was the first champ.
Yeah, real
I'm
early.
99% sure. I think he's lost it since then.
Yeah, I used to really like him until I learned that he donated illegally.
Yeah, it's one of those many things where it's like I'm gonna wrestle with that for the rest of my life. Like you never lose the things that Chris Jericho did in the past. You're like, oh yeah, I remember he was one of my favorites. He's unbelievable wrestler. Every time he came to Edmonton, I'd cheer my heart out for Chris Jericho.
Yeah, he's my favorite
But
asshole.
every time the word Chris Jericho comes into my head from now till the day I die, I'll be like, I can't believe he ended up being a Trump supporter.
Yeah, it turns out he's a real asshole. I always thought it was such a work. I'm like, oh, no one is. What a great character.
And he,
What if it's not?
He did the whole like, I'm not political, and then gave a very Republican stance on an issue. And I'm like, Chris, just come out and say it if you want to say it.
It's fine, man.
WWF No Mercy director Hideyuki Iwashida. Hideyuki Iwashida is apparently involved in development. A lot of people really like N64's WWF No Mercy.
Right. And Cody Rhodes said, and I quote, a No Mercy style video game.
They're also doing 2 mobile games. One of them is called AEW Casino. I don't really give a fuck about, but whatever. One is called AEW Elite GM, which is a mobile game where players apparently try to run a successful wrestling franchise.
It's easy.
It's gonna be so bad.
It probably is.
It's gonna be so bad.
I didn't know it was a mobile game at first. I was like, oh fuck, are they gonna like develop the don't actually do the wrestling, book the matches, but the wrestling still looks really good game that maybe 2K19 and 18 and 17 all should have been?
Yes. The rolling reckless simulator that we all want. And
Yes. Bring back the TRWL. Yeah, I don't know. It's a mobile game, so, you know,
I'll play it.
so will I.
It'll be bad.
It might be.
I wonder how much like buyable currencies. There'll be
all
stuff.
of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Do you want to play with the Cody Rhodes?
It's not going to be free. It's just going to be a like $20 game. It's not free. No purchases.
$20 game and then in-app purchases as well.
Yes.
That's the way to do it.
Hell yes.
That's the power move
You
right
want to
there.
make money? Fucking charge money.
Yeah.
Capitalism, baby.
Yeah, you should tell it to Square Enix, who reported a $48 million loss. $48 million loss on Avengers.
Really pokes a hole in my theory.
Yeah. Spend money to
They charged money and somehow did not make money.
yeah, the big loss there. Something like 96% of people who bought that game at launch are no longer playing. And
that's us.
they also changed in Spider-Man PS5. They changed the line because Spider-Man used to see the Avengers Tower and be like, "Oh, the Avengers, they're on the West Coast." Was the line? They've changed that in the remaster. I don't know what the line is, but it brings it in line with the Avengers game.
Such an unnecessary thing to do, regardless of what your future intentions are. It's like the West Coast Avengers is a thing.
Yeah,
That
but
could mean he's talking about the West Coast Avengers. The New York Avengers are fucking 4-hour plane ride away. Like, why you thought it's like, no, when the remaster comes out, it's happening day and date with what's happening in Avengers. Instead of being like, well, the remaster can just be a remaster of a video game that happened a couple years ago.
See, when I played the Spider-Man game, I always took that line to mean like the Avengers, the people, are currently on the West Coast doing a mission or something
Which
like
I
that.
think it is supposed to mean that.
yeah.
But I don't understand why they needed to change it instead of just being like, and then they came back as the world-renowned Avengers want to do sometimes.
I don't. It's
travel around.
It's another nail in the. I'm pretty sure the reason they changed Peter Parker is because that is going to be the Peter in Spider-Man
Right.
in the Marvel's Avengers game. Because yes, why else would they change it? Oh, the vocal face bones matched our actor better, so we had him revoice the line.
But at the same time, I don't understand why they had to change it even to do that. Like what?
Yeah, Spider-Man wears a mask.
Well, and
we were talking about this too.
right? Yeah, like are you ever going to see the guy's face? First of all, and second of all, who gives a fuck if they're where they are at the time of the original Spider-Man game? They can be wherever they want. In the original Spider-Man game, it's not having it at the same time as Avengers.
Yeah, I guess they just, as long as it's not the time when Spider-Man has to be there.
Yeah, but are there dates on these games?
I don't know. I don't. There must be. They changed it. These changes cost money. Elden Ring. It's a video game. Phil the Thrill. Spencer says it's real. Fucking A. Phil heard our cries. Phil heard that it was fake from the Talking Reckless podcast.
Talking Reckless podcast. I just want to tell you.
That's right. He phoned me, left me a message on my phone, and it said this. As somebody who's played all of Miyazaki's games over the last decade, this is clearly the most ambitious game he's done. I mean, I love his games, but seeing some of the gameplay mechanics and stuff that he's tackling, he and the team are tackling this time of the setting. This was a voice, so it's a little, working with another creator in terms of story. I love it.
What?
Yeah, it's in speech. It's speech to text.
As someone who writes web copy from quotes a lot, you have to find that line between let's clean this up a little bit, but also not.
Oh, I see.
Recontextualize
He
the
said
quote.
that's the stuff he's tackling, and then corrected himself. He and the team are tackling.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I see what
Where
you're saying.
I would say that's maybe something where you just put in he and the team are tackling.
Yeah.
For the text purposes of that, but.
I mean, listen. When I just typed it up from my voicemail, I'm not professional.
Right? Yes, of course. You're a one-man staff.
Only listened to it once and then just played it down from memory.
I didn't even ask. Like, oh, Phil's phone, and I'll get that later. Let him hit the answering machine. George. That's the George R. R. Martin game. That's the other creator, apparently.
So I'm glad he went on to say that he loves it. I'm always super skeptical about people who are like they're working on something and it's really ambitious.
Yeah.
And whenever I hear that word, I'm like, ooh.
Phil, do you think it looks good?
Yeah.
Well, it looks.
They're really going for it.
Looks like they're trying.
Ambitious?
It's a big space.
Certainly a lot of game.
He goes on to say, "I love it." And what are you gonna say? Like, it's not like he's gonna go out and say he hates a game like that. But
It kinda
I
sucks.
really want that game to be good.
So do I.
I think I'm trying not to set myself up for disappointment.
You could have also been like seeing a puppy walk by at that exact moment.
Yeah,
You said, "Oh, I love
this
it."
is so
that's right.
So
It was-
scattered
was
quote.
referring to the puppy. Yeah.
Someone just like brought him a coffee and he took his first sip. Is
that good, Phil?
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
And
I cut the quote there before he goes on to say like, but I think they're biting off more than they can chew.
They are fucked.
a couple quick stories here. Amazon says some of the Xbox pre-orders may not arrive until December 31st, which fucking sucks.
Really sucks.
Man, if my pre-order was not coming till the 31st, I would be
I thought
mad.
this was happening to my PlayStation because I got a immediate email being like, it's on back order, like right after I pre-ordered it. And then I got another email saying it's been delayed. And then I got an email not too long ago, which was actually a good feeling where they're like, your PlayStation has been delayed 2 to 3 business days.
On its
and I'm
way.
like, oh God, thank God. 2 to 3 is fine. I thought I was going to end up being one of those like, hopefully I have it for Christmas.
Yeah, the Wednesday date seems very likely. There's a Neo collection coming to PS5. It is a remaster with both the first and second games. 4K up to 120 FPS on February the 5th, 2021. PC support PC version has 1440 hertz support. That's cool. G-Sync they call that, I think. Maybe that's different. I don't know. I don't know if G-Sync and 1440 hertz is different, but that's interesting. My
And
TV
ultra wide
only does
support,
120.
which those monitors always make me laugh every time I
Yes.
see them.
I think they're cool, but I also think they're very
Like I laugh a lot. Like it's a comical sight to see
They're
the,
very
the
light.
big ones that are going. Like, I didn't even know all that stuff was over there.
so big. They're gonna add a FOV slider to Destiny with that next with the next gen upgrade.
I generally don't touch that stuff.
Neither do I, but I might.
You might,
Yeah, if I'm going to the Crucible, boy, is it ever cool to be able to fucking see like
beside you.
270 degrees.
No.
Last story, quick one here as well. Ghost of Tsushima sold over 5 million copies. I feel like we say this about every new Sony IP, but it is the fastest new first-party IP on the PS4.
Yeah, it
Fastest
seems like
selling. pardon me.
More people are buying video games than ever before.
Hell yes, especially Sony first-party video games. And yeah, Destiny will be 120F. Is Destiny only going to be 120 FPS on next-gen consoles? Okay.
Yes.
I heard a story earlier where like the PvP will be at 4K, 120 hertz something, like as though the entire game might not be.
That's how I understand it.
Okay, yeah.
The story I read was just the Crucible.
This just says, oh, Crucible in all caps. Yeah. What the? So it's not going to run it? Huh.
The story I read was just Crucible will run at 120 FPS.
That'd be weird.
I wonder if that would be
like-
jarring.
Yes, it would be sensible in that it's easily like the most contained thing they have, but it
Yeah.
would also be illogical, like you're saying, in that like I'm jumping back and forth between them all the time.
Playing
It's gonna
it
make the rest of the game look like trash.
Yeah, especially like other PvP modes. Gambit is in 60 because maybe they just can't do 120 with all the NPC enemies on screen or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But like Gambit at 60 and then you go into Crucible it's 120. You're like, ooh, this is like
I'll be going too
feels
fast.
different.
I'll be going too fast.
Yeah.
I'm going the same speed, but I'm going too fast.
150 cc's.
200 seats.
Oh, I can't. I'm not ready for that.
No.
None of us are.
no one-
we
none
all
of us are.
pretend to be, but
Absolutely.
Yeah. Every time I'm drunk and think I can do it, no.
yeah.
No.
You know what the real secret is?
No.
Turn on the little auto drive thing.
Hell yes.
Fuck me.
And then beat Andy every time.
Put it down. Jesus, take the wheel.
You gotta drink my beer. That's your news. Podcast at talkingreckless.com is an email address. You can write in here to the show. I have no electronic games for us this week. You can also drop them on our Discord, which you can find by going to talkingreckless.com and clicking the Discord button. All right, let's get out of here. I'm going to go get my Xbox, I guess. I'm just looking around to see if anyone else brought electronic games.
Gotta do those plugs, yo.
I'm going to remember to do the plugs.
Plug them up.
I'm going to remember to do the
Plug those
plugs.
plugs.
Andy,
What?
what were you saying as we were all yelling, plug, 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 plug?
I was also yelling plug.
Okay, great. Attaboy. Go check out my anime podcast over on patreon.com/talkingrecklesspodcast. New name. It's called Will of the Weaves.
Oh.
That's a good podcast name.
What is weeb?
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's like kind of
Is it like dweeb?
It's like an
yeah,
anime thing.
but it's like anime fan. It's not. It's kind of derogatory, I guess.
But
For, like-
have we owned it?
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
not we. I'm not an anime
Yeah,
fan.
no,
I need
weebs.
to, if anyone's listening, I'm not an anime
Just,
fan.
I just want to make very clear.
But if I was, I would own the word weeb.
Yeah, so I think a weeb was literally used to be like someone who a white person who would pretend that they were Japanese, kind of like or had probably had kanji on them and like I don't know said arigato instead of thank you. I don't know.
Sure.
That's
but
so stupid that you can't just enjoy that content. It's got to be some sort of label.
well, no, it's formed over the years. It's like nerd. Remember, nerd used to be a bad thing, and now we just like yeah, I'm a nerd. Whatever, we just own it. Weeb is a lot like nerd, but specifically for anime.
Yeah, you fucking watch Disney cartoons, that's fine, but yet watching fucking something that comes up.
Oh yeah, no, you don't you dare bring a show that you think is made in Japan but is not made into Japan into the anime channel because they will just fucking eviscerate you.
Well, that's stupid too.
Andy, and I own the Discord. I pay the bills for the Discord. And even I get fucking gate-kept my own goddamn anime channel.
That's stupid.
So I now know what a weeb is.
What is a weeb?
What's a weeb?
For starters, it is a lesser version of a weeboo.
So you want to be a weeboo?
Is that
There's
short
still
for?
time to change the name.
No, lesser version of weeboo. Weeboo is a higher level weeb.
Oh.
Watches CGDCT anime. I don't know what that is. May or may not have a body pillow / waifu. Usually browsers.
It's
r
waifu,
/
like wife with a
Animemes.
U.
Animemes. Whatever you do, don't call them a fucking.
Did you just
weeb.
say
It's only-
Animemes?
Yeah, r/Animemes. This is the Urban Dictionary definition.
Okay.
And whatever you do, don't call them a fucking weeb. It only makes them more powerful.
That's right.
Is that the used in a sentence?
No,
Oh, that's part of the definition.
that is part of the definition.
Okay. Just checking.
Anyways, it's called Will of the Weebs.
Sure.
Because
You're watching the appropriate kind of anime.
exactly, and they've and the tier is literally called True Weebs at our thing, and they vote on which shows we watch. It is literally the will
Yep.
of the
The
weebs. That's right.
It's good. I like it.
One of us. Only none of you can say that word, by the way. Only me.
No, I said I'm not a.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a weeboo. So
A weeboo?
A weeboo.
A weeaboo?
If I have a
I don't
waifu, but
use weebs.
if I have a waifu, but none of the other criteria, I'm not a weeb, right?
No. Well, I
that
think
all of them?
well, you're dipping your toes.
may or may not.
That's like
He's
I have
dipping
a
a lot more than that.
I have a championship wrestling belt, but I don't watch wrestling. Am I a wrestling fan? Well, kind
Is a
of.
sex doll and a body pillow interchangeable?
Yeah. I mean,
We'll say yes.
what is
I'm a
interchangeable?
weeb.
Interchangeable implies that you're like switching from one to the other. What is it? Just
Well,
but
for
the answer is
sake of-
yes.
Just for the sake of a definition.
The answer is just they are. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have a sex doll but you don't have a body pillow,
Wait, if you sleep on a sex doll, does it not become a pillow? If I drive a sex doll to work, is it not a car?
Oh, I'm going to drive my sex pillow when I get home.
Stop it. Podcast at talkingreckless.com is the email address. Go check out the Patreon. Will the Weebs. We're watching Mob Psycho 100, which, Andy, you watch One Punch Man, right?
Fuck yeah.
It is, God damn it. I from the same artist as One Punch Man, but not the same creator. It's basically One Punch Man. It's about a very powerful psychic in a world where I don't know if there are other psychics, but it's the One Punch Man. He's so powerful he can't ever find a like appropriate fight. It's kind of that, but not heroes. It's very good. If you like One Punch Man, you'll probably like it. It's very good and very zany, and you should come watch it over on patreon.com/Talking Reckless Podcast. And the Game of the Year show is going to be January the 16th. Mark your calendars. Saturday, January the 16th.
We're getting way out ahead of the flying canoes this year.
That's right. Book the whole weekend.
they'll be there. Don't
You'll
worry.
only need the edge.
You'll only need the Saturday. Game of the Year. Prepare yourself. Boys, we're going to start hydrating and like working on our vitamin supplements. We got to build the like you go for a hike, you got to like put on a little bit of weight in case you get lost, starve to death.
I think everyone, like as the price of admission, brings pepperoni sticks. Because we always seem to run out of pepperoni sticks right
true.
when I'm getting to the point where I really need the pepperoni sticks.
I'm going to pee a lot.
That's okay.
Well, that's how you lose arguments. So.
Yeah.
that's
Walk away from the table, then all of a sudden your game is fucking
you're-
7th place.
Piss
I don't
jokes,
give a
buddy.
fuck. It's not my. Hey, the way I look at it, it's just like not my fault. I'm around a bunch of guys that don't know fucking good video games, so that'll be just the way it
yeah.
goes.
You're gonna
It's
fit in
never
great.
been any of our fault.
Yeah, you're gonna fit in great. Thank you very much, Andy, for coming to this podcast.
No problem, Meadsy. It was great to be here, my friend.
Brandon,
Yeah,
thank you very much. Taking a break from Destiny to come and do the show.
it's true. I have to get back to it.
That's
My
right.
Fire team needs me.
Kevin has a lot of Animemes he's got to get made.
Yeah, and
It's gonna keep that hate streak going.
get my Destiny track on track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get it.
Yeah.
Find that fucking PlayStation copy that's kicking around.
If you do go into Destiny, you should be a hunter. So Brando has another
Stop
hunter
it.
friend.
I need a hunter friend.
Nobody's
Okay.
fucking. There's too many fucking warlocks.
And to you at home, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you here next week. It'll be the next episode of the Talking Reckless podcast. See you then.